Alright, here we go, everyone. Hi, good morning from the Philippines and whatever time you have there in your area. Well, we're back to doing live streams again, and this time it's going to be a football game, live scoring. This is a very crucial game right now. This is the game 3 between New York Yankees and Toronto Blue Jays. We choose this one because this is a very, of course, again, it's a very critical game. And napaka-importante na ito para sa Yankees. Manalo sila dito para at least maka-force sila ng extension at this ball game or this baseball game. Kasi currently, Toronto Blue Jays is leading the series 2-0. Wow, that was a really hard position to be in. Medyo mabigat-bigat yun. But of course, everything is possible in sports. Anyone can still recuperate and of course recover and then eventually win. But it's all a matter of determination, luck, and of course a little bit of getting the best out of the calls, as they say. But let's see. The game is about to start, everyone. All right. So let's just wait. All right, here we go. Carlos Rodon is pitching for the New York Yankees. I think it's Yankees will be doing the defense at this first inning. All right. Anyway, welcome to this live scoring. We for Team International, we are very live tayo sa Karektan Mix Vlogs channel. And for everyone who has spare time, kung medyo libre kayo, drop by and enjoy some baseball live scoring action. We have Rodon who is doing the pitching for the New York Yankees. And here's the batting order for Blue Jays. We have Springer, Schneider, Guerrero, Kirk, Barcio, Clement, Santander, Nair Palpa, and then Jimenez. That's the batting order for the Blue Jays. All right. So you can expect that this is going to be a very impactful. All right. Here are the umpires: Baker, Randazzo, Bellino, Ortiz, Seagull, and Hamari. All right. So that's the umpires for this ball game. All right. Here we go. Blue Jays at the offense. Batting order it is. Okay, here we go. Let's see. All right, Rodon with his first pitch. It was a strike. It's a strike for Rodon. All right, so the first batter is Springer. All right, remember it's 2-0. Blue Jays leading the series. All right, second pitch is a ball. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike. All right. No outs yet. All right. Of course, still the first batter right now. All right. Second pitch of. Okay, this is the third pitch of Rodon. All right, Rodon. Oh, I think it's going to be another ball. All right. So it's 2 balls, 1 strike for Rodon on his third pitch. All right, let's see. Third, fourth pitch. All right, I think the fourth pitch is a strike. All right, so it's 2 balls, 2 strikes for Rodon. All right, let's see. This is the pitch. Pitch number 5 for Rodon. All right. Pitch. All right. I think that's a third strike. So we have a shutout with a strikeout at the first pitcher. All right. Springer is eventually out. All right. All right. Let's go to Schneider. I think Schneider is the second pitcher. All right. Schneider is the second pitcher. All right. Here we go. Rodon. All right. First pitch. I think it's a ball. All right, so 1 ball, no strikes. Let's see the second pitch. I think it's the seventh pitch. All right, seventh pitch. All right, that's a 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike for Schneider. All right, 9th pitch or 8th pitch. All right, I think it's a strike as well. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. All right. Okay. So far, Rodon is doing good. Doing good with his pitching. Well, basically, as you start off, you're still fresh. You still have a lot of energy. So that could be the reason why he's doing great. But of course, that pitch is not so great. Okay. Ang pangit ko pinuntahan ng pitch na yun. Alright. So here we go. Rodon for his 10th pitch. Pang-sampu niya ng pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see if this is going to be another strikeout. Alright. Here we go. Nope. That's 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Alright. So far, 3 balls, 2 strikes against Schneider. Alright. Alright, here we go. Alright. Okay. I think that's a walk. That's a walk. 4 balls was committed. So Schneider will walk on to the first base. It is. Alright, here we go. Third man on the field. It's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Guerrero preparing to bat against Rodon. Alright. Okay, here we go. Alright. So that's a ball. 1 ball for Guerrero. Alright, Rodon on his 13th pitch of the night. 13th pitch. Here we go. Preparing. Pitching. Alright. I think it's another ball. Yeah, it's 2 balls, no strikes still in favor of Guerrero. All right. Here we go. 14th pitch. All right. Okay, this time I believe it's a strike. But oh no, it wasn't catched. Oh, it's a home run. Oh my gosh. Wow! What a way to start the ball game for the Blue Jays. They did a home run. Wow, that was a very eventful offense there. So that puts Toronto on the scoreboard with 2 home runs against none for Blue Jays. Wow, that was quite eventful. All right. So, it's 2 home runs already for Blue Jays. That was a nice hit. Alright, for Guerrero. Alright. Wow, and the Blue Jays are celebrating. Alright. I think they have a symbolic jacket that will be worn once they... Here we go. Alright. Is that the 11th pitch? Or the 19th pitch? Oh, 18th pitch. So right now the score is 2-0. 2 runs already for Toronto because of that home run by Guerrero. Here we go. Rodon for the 17th pitch. Is it a strike? Alright. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Alright. Alright, let's see the pitch. Pitch now. Alright. So I guess it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alright, and the one who's batting now is Kirk. I think it's Kirk. That's the fourth on the batting order. Okay. Kirk now facing 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alright, let's see. Rodon to the pitch. Pitch now. Alright, I think it's a It's a foul ball. That's for the 19th pitch against Kurt. It's a foul ball. Alright, here we go. Right, Rodon again. Rodon pitching. Alright, I think it's a third ball. Yeah, it's a third ball against 2 strikes. Here we go. Guerrero is being shown at the inset, chugging his well-deserved drink. Alright. Here we go. Alright, let's see. Oh, it's a hit. It's a hit going to the left side of the field, but it's out. Alright, Kurt is eventually out before even reaching the first base. Wow, that was the home run for Guerrero that was dealt. That was a great. Okay. So after the first inning for Blue Jays, it's 2-0. All right, here we go. All right, it's Warshow who's batting right now. All right. All right, pitching for 23rd pitch is Rodon. It's Barjo, Dalton Barjo, who is doing the batting now. And he's facing 2 strikes already. All right, it's two strike against Barjo. Here we go. Rodon preparing to pitch. 7 viewers in the house. Thank you so much. All right, Barcio now. All right, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Barcio. All right, here we go. All right, Rodon pitching again. All right, it's strike. All right, Barcio is struck out. All right, so after first offense of Blue Jays, they get to score 2 home runs or 2 runs against still 0 of New York Yankees. All right, we'll pause for a short break and we'll be back. All right, for the live scoring of Yankees versus Blue Jays. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Alright, I guess we're back in the ball game right now. Let's see. Alright, there's the batting order for New York Yankees. We have Grisham, Judge, Bellinger, Rice, Stanton, Chisholm, McMahon, Bolt, and then Wells. So Grisham will start the batting order, followed by Judge. All right. Anyway, thank you so much for extending support to our this live scoring between Blue Jays and New York Yankees. And Shane Bieber will be doing the pitching for the Toronto Blue Jays. All right, let's see. Right, there we go. All right, second pitch. All right, so 2 balls, no strikes against Grisham. All right, well, it's a hit, but it goes the way of the first base, so Grisham is out. Grisham is out. All right, there we go. Judge, Aaron Judge. All right. Aaron Judge now is the one pitching for New York Yankees, or for batting for New York Yankees. All right, here we go. Aaron Judge against Bieber. Bieber on his 4th pitch. Here we go. All right, it's a strike. It's a strike. So 1 strike against Judge. All right, let's see. Let's see now. All right. All right. Okay, there's a hit going to the left side of the field. Okay, there's a catch. Somebody, but Judge was able to hit the first base. All right, first base was hit by Judge. So here we go. All right. So now the play of cat and mouse starts here. All right. All right, one of the commentators is John Smoltz. I think he's one of the legendary pitcher for Atlanta Braves. Wow, still remember him during the 90s. Okay, Bieber. All right, pitch again. It was a hit, but it was a fly away. It's a fly out. All right, and it was catched. Catch. All right, Judge, I think has progressed to the second base. I believe so. All right, so 2 outs already against the New York Yankees. All right. 2 outs already against the New York Yankees. Here we go. Rice. Rice now is on the batting plate. All right, here we go. Bieber doing the pitch. All right, let's see it. Oh no, it's towards the first base. Oh, I think there's an error. All right, there's an error on picking up the ball. Yeah, it was a hit. All right, somebody committed an error in picking up. Oh, and of course, yeah, it was not catched properly, and then of course the ball just rolled around the grass, and he lost it. So 2 people now on the bases for New York Yankees. Here we go. I think this is the Oscar. Is it the Stanton? All right. First pitch by Bieber. I think it's a strike against Giancarlo Stanton. All right. 2 people in the bases right now for New York Yankees. So there's a threat already against Bieber. All right. Okay, it's the 9th pitch. So 2 strikes against Stanton right now. 2 strikes against Stanton. All right, here we go. All right, I think it's a ball. So 1 ball against Bieber, 2 strikes against Stanton. 1 ball against Bieber. So here's Bieber going for his 11th pitch. 11th pitch it is. All right, here we go. Stanton, it's a hit, but I think it went foul. It's a foul ball. All right, here we go. Bieber is still pitching. Alright. Bieber pitching. Alright, it's a hit. It's going to the right. Going to the right side of the field. Or I should say the left side of the field. Alright. 1 run for New York Yankees, courtesy of Aaron Judge. 1 run for New York Yankees, courtesy of Aaron Judge. Alright, that was it. Okay, now it's more interesting. Okay, 1 run for New York Yankees this time. Okay. Wow, it was a hit by Stanton. Alright. Going to the left side of the field. And he is at the first base right now. Here we go. It's Chris Holm who's doing the batting this time. Alright, and 1 ball already. 1 ball already against Bieber. Alright, Bieber pitching. Here we go. Pitch, and I think that's another ball. So 2 balls against Bieber. No strikes yet against Chris Holm. Alright. Alright, let's see. Here's the bat. Okay, here we go. Alright. Again, I think it is the 3rd ball already against Bieber. It's a 3rd ball already against Bieber. Alright, 1 more ball and it's gonna be a walk. Let's see. Here we go. Bieber pitching. Alright. I think it's a strike this time. So 3 balls against Bieber and 1 strike against Chris Holm. Alright. Let's see what gives this time. Alright, there you go. Bieber pitching. It's a strike again. So it's 3 balls against Bieber and 2 strikes against Chris Holm. Alright. It's the 17th pitch of Bieber, going for his 18th this time. Okay, here we go. Eto na. Here's the pitch. Alright. Bieber going for his 18th pitch. Let's see. Alright, here we go. Alright, the pitch. Alright, it was a hit. Okay, I think it's a fly out. Alright. No, it's a fly out. So that's a 3rd out for against the New York Yankees. But they managed to get 1 run. Okay, back to the home studios for additional reminders from our sponsors. All right, I guess we're back in the ball game right now. Thank you so much. All right, let's see what's going on. All right, Rodon again pitching. All right, it's a foul. I think it's a strike. Oh no, it's a foul ball for his, I think it's 28th pitch. All right, against Clement. All right, here we go. All right, that's it by Clement. Oh, it's going towards the first base. Up. Why? Was it cleared? All right, I think the hit by Clement was cleared. Yeah, I think Clement came in first before Judge hit the first base. All right, so Clement is on the first base now. All right, and here we go. Next batter against Rodon is Santander. All right, here you go. All right. All right, so 1 ball against Rodon. No strike yet. No strike still. And that is his 30th pitch. Going for 31st. There we go. 31st pitch of Rodon. All right, it was a hit. I think it's a... All right, it was towards the audience. Okay. Here we go. Doing the replay of the run again by Clements. All right. All right, here we go. 1 ball, one strike. Okay. Rodon, here we go. 2 strikes. 2 strikes against Santander and 1 ball against Rodon. Alright. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Alright, here we go. It's a hit. That it was a foul ball against. Alright, 1 ball, 2 strikes still against Santander. Alright. Here we go. Going for this 34th pitch. Rodon pitching. I think it's a ball. Alright, so it's 2 balls, 2 strikes already. 2 balls against Rodon and 2 strikes against Santander. Alright. Clement looking closely. Alright, it's a hit. I think it's a fly out. Alright, it's a fly out and it was catched by, I think, Volpe. Alright. Alright, here we go. Going towards the next batter. Alright, it's Kiner Palepa. Isaiah Kiner Palepa. Alright, so it's 1 ball, no strike against Kiner Palepa. I think he's the one that made an error earlier. Right, here we go. Pitch. Alright. It was a strike. It was a strike against Kiner Palepa. Or Kinder Palepa. But whatever. I'm sorry if I might be butchering his last name. Alright, there we go. Rodon for his 38th pitch. Okay. I think it's 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 balls against Rodon. Alright, there we go. Alright, Rodon preparing for his 39th pitch. 39 here. Okay, it was hit. Alright, let's see. Alright, it went straight to the audience. Alright. It goes straight to the audience. Right, Clement still at the first base right now, looking on. All right. 1 out already against Toronto. All right. And Rodon looking for his second out. All right, here we go. All right, Rodon attempted to steal the first base, but Clement quickly returned it. Okay, here we go. All right. Rodon for his 40th pitch. All right. I think it's another foul ball. All right. It's another foul ball. Okay, here we go. For another opens for the New York Yankees. For the Blue Jays. Alright, currently it's 2 balls against Rodon. Going for his 41st. Okay, here we go. I think it's another fly out. It's a fly out. Catch again by Bolt. Alright. So 2 outs already. Alright. Before we call this a game for... Alright, there we go. Another one on the batting plate right now. We're still seeing a glimpse of Guerrero Jr. Alright, there we go. Jimenez is on the batting plate now. Rodon on this pitch. Alright, first one. I think it's a strike. It's a strike. Alright. Alright, let's see. Second. Going for his 43rd pitch is Rodon. Alright, 43rd coming up. Alright. It's a strike. Oh, what happened there? I think they gave a walk. Oh. It was a very dangerous pitch. I don't know what the umpire called on this one. It's a challenge. Somebody challenged. There was a challenge on the call. Alright. Alright, the call was challenged. On that walk. Still doing a review of the replay. All right, here's the call. I think the call stands. All right, so new batter on the plate right now, and the Jimenez was given a walk. It's Springer now. It's Springer now on the offense, on the batting plate right now. Here we go. Rodon preparing to pitch his 44th pitch. Here we go. All right. I think it's a ball. I think it's a ball. All right, 1 ball against Rodon. All right, for his 45th pitch. He was going for the 45th pitch. Rodon. Here we go. I think it's a hit. It's going to be a fly out. All right, and it's gone. All right, so that's the third out for this inning of the Yankees. Still 2-1 is the score. All right, 2 runs for Blue Jays and 1 for Yankees. Let's go back to home studio. Alright, I think we're back in the ball game right now. Okay, here we go. Bieber pitching against Volp. Alright, so it's 1 ball, 1 out against Volp. Alright, 1 out, 1 strike. I mean, 1 strike already. Alright, we go. Bieber pitching. Second pitch. I think it's his 21st pitch. Alright, and there's a 1 out already. Okay. Still 2-1. 2 runs for Blue Jays and 1 for New York. Okay, pitch. Going to the left side of the field. Alright. We are at the post-season right now, so that's why this is very crucial for this juncture, because it's It's like winning time. It's going to be the championship time at this point. Right, Volt. I think 2 outs already. I think Volt was already struck out. Right, let's see. It's Austin Wells on the batting plate right now, facing 1 strike. Wow. Bieber is making good account of himself. All right, here we go. 2nd strike. Wow. That was another strike. All right. I think he's aiming for a 3rd strike already and a 3rd out. This is going to be a quick work of this inning for New York Yankees. All right. Okay, it's a hit. It's a foul ball. All right, here we go. All right, Wells preparing to hit. And of course, Bieber. Here we go. All right. It's a changeup. All right. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball against Bieber and 2 strikes against Wells. All right, here we go. I think it's 2 balls. It's a knuckle curve type of pitch. All right, so it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. All right, here we go. Bieber's pitching. All right. All right. I think it's another strike. All right, so, wow, that was a quick work. 3 consecutive strikeouts. All right. Which gave the offense to Blue Jays. All right, back to home studios. All right, I think we're back in the ball game right now, and I think there's a run. There's a serious run. All right, I think that's actually part of the. All right, let's go. The first, I think the pitch of Rodon was hit. All right, and the catcher missed to catch the ball, and it was a long run, long way to go in getting the ball, and you can see the sigh of the New York Yankee fans. All right, so right now. Right now, there are players fielding the bases against the New York Yankees. All right. I think it's again Guerrero. All right, here we go, Rodon. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. First pitch. It's a slider, and it's Kirk facing Rodon right now. So it's a strike. No outs, and some Blue Jays are threatening to go for a run again. All right, Rodon doing his 50th pitch right now. It's 50th. Here we go, Rodon for his 51st. Here we go. Alright, I think it's a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike against Kirk. And 2 players are covering the bases. First base and second base respectively against the New York Yankee defense. Here we go. Rodon. Okay, it was hit, but I think it's a fly out. All right. All right, so Kirk was out. Right, but still some people on the base right now. It's Barjo on the batting plate. Barjo now on the batting plate for the Blue Jays. Here we go, Barjo. Alright. Alright, 1 out already against the Blue Jays. Alright, it's a hit. It's a first strike. It's first strike against Barjo. Alright, there we go. Second 54th pitch. We'll go. Alright, and I think it's a strike. A strike this time. So, a strike against Barjo and a ball against Rodon. Okay. Here we go. 55th pitch. Here we go. Alright, it's a hit. Oh, it's going to be a fly out. Alright, it was. Oh no, they lost it. Alright, that was an error. Guerrero. Oh no. I think there's a run again for the Blue Jays. Alright, so it's 3 against 1. Alright, there is a possible catch, but oh no, it was a missed catch. Alright, Schneider making a run. Alright, but he goes on. He went on. He is running for the third base, and he made it. Alright, so now it's 3 runs already for Toronto against 1 of the Yankees. Alright. Here we go. And still bases are filled up and just 1 strikeout so far. Alright, here we go. Rodon. Okay. It was a hit. It was a foul ball. It was a strike. It's Clements again. Clement doing the run. Now doing the batting. Alright, there we go. Clements. Alright. Still. Alright, it's 2 strikes already against Clements. 2 strikes already against Clements. Alright, here we go. Clements now, or should I say Rodon. Alright. Checking out Clements. Here we go. Rodon. Prepping up. Alright. Clements, it's a hit. It's a hit. I think it's a fly out. Oh, it's a homer. Wow. It's a homer. Wow. That would be a 2. I think it's gonna be a 2-base runner here. Oh man. Oh no, it's not yet. It's a foul ball. Alright, now there. This is a run, definitely. Alright, somebody's running towards the home plate. Alright, okay, I think he beat the catcher. Guerrero again made a run. Alright. So it's 4 runs against 1. 4 runs against 1. Still in favor of Toronto Blue Jays. All right. Alright, so a short talk is now being done against Rodon. Alright, of course we have a look at the bullpen right now. Here is Cruz, right, preparing for a possible pitching duty. Alright, here we go, Rodon. Alright. Preparing to pitch. Alright, here we go. It's a strike. It was a strike. Alright, Rodon. It's a ball against Santander. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Alright, here we go. Santander now. Santander preparing to hit the ball. Here's the pitch. It's a strike. Alright, so 1 ball, 2 strikes already. 2 strikes against Santander and 1 ball against Rodon. Alright, here we go. Alright, for the 63rd pitch of Rodon. Alright. Okay. Okay, I think it's a foul ball. It's a foul ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes already and just 1 out. And Clement is on the base again. Alright, that's David Popkins. Alright, here we go. I think it's still another foul ball. Let me see. It goes straight to the audience. Alright. Alright. Here we go. Rodon pitching again against Santander still. Alright, let's see if oh, I think it's a ball. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 balls against Rodon, and 2 strikes against Santander. There you go. I think this is the one we started. Alright. Here we go. Rodon, I think this is a hit again. I think this one went straight to the audience again. Okay, here we go. Alright, Rodon pitching. Alright, that's it. Going to the right side. Alright, it was catch. And I think Santander was able to get to the first base. And we have another run by Clement. Now the coach of Yankees are out. Alright. It was a 6-1 now, and I think they need to talk it over. Okay, it's already 6-1. Alright, 6-1 already. Wow. It's beginning to become a rout. Okay. Back to home studio. Alright, I think we're back in the ball game, and I think Rodon is already replaced by Cruz. I think it's Cruz who's on the pitching right now. Fernando Cruz. Alright, there we go. Alright. 1 out. Who's on the plate right now? It's Barger. Addison Barger, who's on the plate right now, on the batting plate. Right, there we go. Cruz to pitch. Alright. It's 2 balls, 1 out. One strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Alright, here we go. Alright, it was a foul ball. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Spike Lee looking on. What's happening to his New York team? There we go. Cruz to pitch. Okay, it was a wayward pitch. Alright, so 3 balls, 2 strikes. And I think Rizon is up on the plate right now. Alright, here we go. Cruz pitching. Alright, I think it's a strike. Alright, he struck out Barger. So 2 outs already for the Toronto Blue Jays. I was about to say Toronto Raptors. Alright. Here we go. Cruz to pitch against Gimenez again. Gimenez. Alright, okay, first pitch. I think it's a ball. Yes, it's a ball. Alright, there we go. 8 pitch. Alright, that was it. Going to the right. And I think it's out for the Blue Jays. So, there you go. Quite an eventful inning for the Blue Jays. I think it's like a total of 4 runs that was made on this inning. Alright, on this ALDS playoff. Okay, back to the studio for some reminders. Alright, back to the ball game, everyone. Alright, let's see. It's Trent Grisham was on plate right now. And still Bieber. Oh no, I think it's a new pitcher as well, or still Bieber. I think it's a new pitcher for Toronto Blue Jays. It's Green now. They kind of look like Bieber as well. So I'm a little bit confused. There we go. Green on his fourth pitch. It's 2 strikes, 2 balls. So 2 balls against Green and 2 strikes against Grisham. Alright, there we go. Alright, Green made a ball again, so it's 3 balls already against Green. Alright, 3 balls against Green. Oh, here we go. That's Bieber. Alright, 3 balls against Green. Alright, Grisham still on the batting plate. Alright, I think there's some discussion between umpires right now. Alright, let's see. It's like something came up. Alright. I think the catcher got a penalty. There we go. 3 balls, 2 strikes against Grisham. Right, some colored. Right, the coach of New York Yankees is quite mad about something here. There we go, Green, serve, pitching. All right, sits 3 balls, 2 outs, 2 strikes against Grisham. Still no out. All right, there we go. Second. Oh, there's a hit. Going to the left. Going to the right. Right part of the field. All right, there's a run. Being made. All right, there we go. All right, now we're talking. Grisham is on the field, on the bases right now. All right, here we go. Grisham now is on the bases. There we go, Aaron Judge. All right. Not a hit. All right. Against Green. Here we go. Right, so it's one strike against Judge. All right, well, it's just Judge who made the lone run for New York Yankees, and he's running the game now. Here we go, Judge. All right, here's the pitch. Yep. All right, Aaron Judge. All right, here we go. All right, Green still doing the pitching for Toronto Blue Jays. All right, Aaron Judge preparing. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 balls against Green and 2 strikes against Judge. All right, there we go. Going to the left side of the field. There's a run. I think Grisham. All right, Judge is on the second base, and I think Grisham made a run. Okay, there we go. So it's 6-2 now. All right, 6-2 in favor of Blue Jays. Here we go. All right, the strike against, is it Bieber? Oh, Bellinger. It's Bellinger. It's Cody Bellinger. All right, I think Judge is on second base already. All right, there we go. It's a hit. I think it's a foul ball. All right, so it's no ball, 1 strike already for this game. No strikeout still for New York Yankees. All right, there we go. I think it's a hit again. All right, switch the field. Okay, there we go. I think Judge is on the third base already. And then, of course, Bellinger is on the first base. All right, still some discussion with the coaches. Of the Toronto Blue Jays. They are talking to Green. All right, there we go. Green is still the pitcher. All right. There's a look at the bullpen of the Blue Jays. There we go. Green. There's the pitch. All right. I think it's strike 1. All right, against Ben Rice. Okay, so the man on the plate right now is Rice. It's Ben Rice. All right, second pitch. Okay, I think it's a hit. But I think he will be struck out. Alright, I think Judge was tagged. Alright, here we go. One out already for the New York Yankees. And Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton on the batting plate right now. There we go, 2 strikes against Stanton. Alright, there's a serve. Oh, here's a pitch. Alright, I think it's going to be a fly out. Yep, it was catched. Alright, somebody is making a serious run towards the base or the home base. I think it's someone made a run, so it's now 6-3. All right, number 35 just made a run, so now it's 6-3. Just 3 runs behind is the Yankees. All right, Green still pitching. All right, and it's against Grisham. All right, Grisham made a hit, but it was a foul ball. It's a first strike against Grisham. All right, there we go. All right, for the Portland pitch. Here we go, Green. I think it's another ball. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 strike against Grisham. Let's see on this. All right, here we go. All right, so it's 2 balls, 1 strike. All right, here we go. All right. Okay. It's 3 balls, 1 strike. 3 balls against Green and 1 strike against Grisham. So 1 more ball and Grisham will do a walk. All right, here we go. All right. I think it's a walk. All right. So Grisham will do a walk. All right. So here we go. Grisham making a walk towards the first base, and I think somebody will talk to Green. Alright, I think he will be replaced. Alright, go back to home studios. Alright, back to the ball game. Still 5 viewers in the house. Alright, so let's see. I think there's a new pitcher on the plate for Toronto Blue Jays. Alright, it's Fluharty against Rosario. Alright. Alright, Ahmed Rosario for his, I think this is his first sit on the plate. Alright. And I think two people are on the bases right now. Alright. Second pitch. It's 2 strikes already. I think Fluharty is doing good account of himself. Right, there we go. Ahmed preparing to hit. Fluharty. Alright. I think it's a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes against Fluharty. Alright, there we go. Ahmed preparing to hit. Here we go. It's a hit. I think it's a fly ball. And alright, that's a 3rd out against the New York Yankees. So that's basically the inning for quite an eventful inning for New York Yankees. They were able to eke out 2 runs on that offense. Okay, back to home studios. I think we're almost back in the ball game right now. It's still 6-3, 6 for Toronto and 3 for New York Yankees. And Cruz is still doing the pitching for New York Yankees at this point. All right, against Springer. Alright. Alright, so it's 2 strikes already against Springer. Right, there we go, Cruz. Alright. I think it's a ball. So 1 ball and 2 strikes against Springer. Alright, somebody is up warming up at the bullpen right now. Alright, there we go, Cruz. Alright, I think it's a strikeout. Alright, so 1 out against the Toronto Blue Jays. Alright, here we go for the next batter. It's Schneider. Alright. First pitch. A strike. That's a 13th pitch of Cruz. Alright, here we go. Oops, it's way up there. It's 1 ball, 1 strikes. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. Here we go. Alright, it was a hit. But I think it's going to be another strike. Alright, here we go. Alright, going for the 16th pitch is Cruz. Alright, Cruz. On the 16th pitch. Ito na! Alright, it's a hit. Going to the right side of the field. But it was a foul ball. Alright. Here we go. Here we go. Alright, Schneider. Alright. Still out. Alright. He was struck out. Here we go. The man of the hour, Guerrero. He made a home run. He actually made a lot of run. Alright, here we go. Guerrero, the man of the hour against Cruz. Alright. If he was struck out, it'll be a straight 3 strikes for Cruz at this juncture. Here we go. Right, this is the man of the hour, Guerrero. Right, I think we have a lull here. Oh, that's John Smoltz. Oh man, he really had aged. Way back in 1993. Wow. Way back in the 1990s. To be exact. Alright, let's see what gives here. Currently there are 2 outs against Toronto Blue Jays. And just 1 more and that change possession of the offense. Here we go. Cruz. Alright. I think it's 1 ball against Cruz. Alright, there we go. Cruz looking closely. Alright, let's see. Okay, it's a hit again. Alright, and I think Guerrero is safely on the first base now. Wow, Guerrero has really been going nuts with the pitchers of the New York Yankees. Alright, here we go. Alright, Cruz, I think is being called back to the dugout. Alright, back to a few reminders from the home studio. Alright, back to the ball game, everyone. Alright, we have a new pitcher for New York Yankees. It's Carlos Doval. Alright, Carlos Doval. So it's been a lot of changes. Alright, so Carlos Doval, let's see. It's strike one for Carlos. So he was able to do a strike. Alright, here we go. Second pitch of Carlos. Alright. I think it's a ball. Alright, and Kirk is on the plate. Batting plate right now. Alright, there we go. Alright, Guerrero was almost snatched there. Alright, here we go. I think it's a strike again. So 2 strikes. Two strikes against Kirk. Here is the ball. Alright, here we go. Calls the ball. Alright, it's a hit. Going to the left side. And out. Out is Kirk. Alright, so that's the inning for the Blue Jays. Alright, back with the inning of the Yankees. Right back to the ball game. Here we go. Plu Hardy doing the pitching for the Blue Jays, and we have, I think it's Bolt. He made a pure runner last time. All right. All right. Here we go. It's a hit. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball against Plu Hardy and 2 strikes against Bolt. All right. Let's see. Here we go. All right. I think it's strikeout. All right. Bolt was stricken out on this inning. All right. Plu Hardy is doing a good job pitching. Right to go. Second pitcher for the New York Yankees. I think it's Grisham. Right. Oh, it's Wells. Right, there you go. All right, strike one. First strike, I think, against Wells. Oh, Grisham and Wells kind of look the same. All right, here we go. Pitch ulit and Fluhardy. Oh, strike na naman. Nice strike na naman siya. So, 2 strikes already. 2 strikes against Wells. Alright, here we go. For his 11th pitch. O yan o. Magkamukha si Grisham tsaka si Wells. Muyaan sila ng muyaan. Alright, here we go. Fluhardy with the pitch. It was a cutter. Alright, but it was called a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes already against Blue Jays. Against Wales. Alright, here we go. Alright, next pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alright, 2 balls against Fluhardy and 2 strikes against Wells. Okay, here we go. Pitch again. Pitch. Alright. Oh no, I think it's 3 balls already. 3 balls against Fluhardy and 2 balls again, 2 strikes against Wells. Oy, magkasunod pala yun si magkamukha oh. Si Wells tsaka si Grisham. Alright, here we go. I think it's a hit. Alright. Did it hit the ground? I think it's going to be a fly out. Oh no! It was a grounded. Oh, it was about to be catch, but tough luck. It was lost. Kala ko masalo na eh. But it was grounded. Alright. So there are some people on the bases for the Blue Jays, for the New York Yankees. Oh, lost it. Yes, Barger, who made an error. All right, here we go. Fluhardy. First pitch. I think it's a ball. Here we go, Barger. All right, come on. People are rallying. The fans are rallying behind the New York Yankees. All right, Grisham. All right, here we go, Grisham. All right, doing the batting now is Grisham against Fluhardy. All right, 1 ball, 1 strikes. All right, I think it's 2 balls. All right, it's gonna be 2 balls, 1 strike. All right, here we go. Fluhardy looking closely. Oh, I think it's 3 balls. Wow, Fluhardy is getting to some spate of errors. Just 1 out for the New York Yankees. All right, here we go. All right, Fluhardy. Here we go. I think it's a strike. Oh, it's a walk. All right. Oh my, it's a walk. Now it's Judge's turn. All right, it's Aaron Judge. Okay, the coach of Blue Jays, I think, just went out. He could be talking to the pitcher of the Blue Jays. Here we go, Trump carrying a bat. Okay, that was a nice joke. Alright, so still 3-point lead. Okay, somebody is going out. Alright, let's back to our home studios for a quick break. Alright, here we go. Back to the ball game. Alright, it's already 1 out against the New York Yankees, but there are some players who are threatening on the plate, on the bases for New York Yankees. So Aaron Judge now on the plate, and I think we have a new pitcher for Toronto Blue Jays. I think is it Yarland or Barland? Alright, here we go. Aaron Judge. I think he had 2 strikes now. There we go, Barland. Oh, that was a quick one. Alright, Barland now going for his 3rd pitch. 3rd pitch it is. Okay, here we go. Alright, Barland preparing for his 3rd pitch. Here we go. All right. Oh, is it a home run or a foul ball? All right. I think that we have a homer there. Yes. I think we have a homer. I think it's a 3-run home run made by Aaron Judge. That practically tied up the ball game. Alright, Aaron Judge just made a home run. Oh my gosh. See? That's the beauty of baseball as well. You can never tell when will the home run comes in. So right now, we're knotted at 6-all. Alright, it's all tied up, everybody. Aaron Judge just made a 3-run home run. Alright. It's a 3-run home run. I think so. Grisham and Wells was successfully on the plate. Alright, and still 1 out. Okay, here we go. Would this be a fly out? Or would it hit the ground? Oh no, it's a fly out. So 2 outs for New York Yankees. Wow, that was a homer there. Yeah, there you go. The New York Yankees are celebrating. There we go. All right. It's a first strike against Rice. First strike against Rice. Okay. All right. Okay. It's a strike. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. All right. Here we go. 1 ball, 1 strike. Okay. All right. It's 2 strikes, 1 ball. 1 ball against Barland and 2 strikes against Rice. All right. Here we go. All right. Barland preparing to pitch his 8th pitch. Okay, here we go. Oh, I think it's a fly out. Alright. Alright, it's straight to the stands. Alright, so it's still foul ball. Alright, now the coach of Yankees has some reason to smile. Okay. That major 3 runs. Alright. There we go, Bar. Okay, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 balls against Barland and 2 strikes against... Oh, that infamous error against... Alright, there we go, Barland doing the pitch. I think it's ball again. 3 balls. There you go, Barger being focused because of that error earlier. Okay, 3 balls, 2 strikes. All right, Barland. All right, I think Rice is out. Okay, so that's the 3rd out of the inning. All right, eventful run or inning for New York Yankees. All right. All right, back to the home studio. It's all tied up now. Alright, I think we're back in the ball game right now for the half of New York Yankees inning. Alright, so we're all tied up. Here we go, Duval pitching. Alright, okay, the second pitch was a ball. So it's 2 strikes, 1 ball. Alright, against Barjo. 2 strikes, 1 ball against Barjo. Alright, there we go, Duval pitching. Alright, so Barjo is out. So Barjo was striking out. Alright. Barjo is out. Alright, so that was a nice strikeout by Duval. Alright, so Aaron Judge is getting a lot of mileage right now. Camera mileage it is. Okay, Duval pitching against Clement. So it's a ball. There you go. Judge is really the focal point of the cameras right now. Alright, Duval. Okay, it's alright. Clement got a hit. Clement got a hit. Oh yeah. That was a great hit by Clement. Alright, so he's in the first base right now. That's Clement. Quite a feisty player. Alright, here we go. Another batter from Blue Jays. Okay. Santander. Alright, first pitch by the ball. It's a ball. Alright, let's see the second pitch of the ball. He's going for his 12th pitch. Here we go. The ball now. Alright, here we go. I think it's a curved ball. There we go, the ball. There you go. It was a hit again. It was catched by Judge. Alright, Clement is safe on second base, and I think alright, Clement is safe on the second base. And then oh, there are 2 outs already. I think the hitter on the first was catched by Judge. Oh, it was a fly out that was catched. But of course, Clement is safely on the second base. Alright, back to home studios for a few reminders.
International, is there a woman shared to capture the moment?
Alright, I think we're back in the ball game right now. Okay, I think we have a new pitcher for the New York Yankees. It's Tim Hill. Alright. Against Barger. Alright. First pitch of Tim Hill. Alright, 1 ball, 1 strikes against Tim Hill. Alright, here we go. Clemens is on the base. Alright, here we go. It's a hit. Alright, so 2 strikes already. Alright, but the fans are egging Hill to end the inning. Alright, here we go. It was a hit. Barger is remembered for his error earlier. Alright. But we have 2 balls and 2 strikes for Hill. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Hill. Alright, Barger. Alright. And I think that's it. Alright, Hill struck out Barger. So that's basically the inning for the Blue Jays. Alright, back to home studios for another few reminders.
International, is there a woman to share? To capture the moment so few
Alright, back to the ball game. Alright, there we go. I think some activity in the bullpen of Blue Jays right now. So it's Varland against Stanton. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alright, it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Alright, let's see how this inning play out. Alright, here we go. Alright. It's 3 balls, 1 strike against Varland. 3 balls, 1 strike against Varland. Alright, there we go. Alright, it was a hit. But it's foul ball, so 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3 balls, 2 strike. Stanton now looking intently. Varland. Alright, I think Giancarlo Stanton was struck out. Alright, I think Mariners just made a run there. Alright, Varland. Oh, wow. That was a wayward pitch against Grisholm. Alright, Grisholm now at the batting plate. Alright, against Varland. Alright, here we go. Alright. It was a 1 ball, 1 strike. Still judge. Focal point of the camera. Alright. Alright, 1 ball, 1 strike. So far. Alright, Varland serving, pitching. Alright. I think it's a homer too. Wow, it's a homer. Yes, it's a home run. Varland got a home run there. Oh, so I say Grisholm, Josh Grisholm made a home run. Oh yeah, now New York Yankees is on the lead right now. So 1 run made it all. So New York Yankees leading now. All right. Wow, there's a big development on this inning. All right, nice one. All right, here we go. The coach of the Toronto Blue Jays came out again, probably to check out the status. All right. Let's see. Let's change this. Alright, I'm trying to look for proper. Let's make it back. There we go. Alright, well anyway, let's give it that way. Alright, 7-6 now. Alright, the Yankees are leading now. And we pause for a few reminders. Oh man. It's just a home run, and then we are on a commercial. Wow, that was so quick. All right, back to the home studio. Alright, I think we're back to the ball game right now. Let's see. Alright, now it's Volp figuring out in the batting. Alright, against... Oh, now we have a new pitcher for... Toronto Blue Jays. It's Fisher. Fisher now. Here we go. Alright. Fisher committed a ball, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike against Volp. Alright, quite an eventful inning this is because just earlier, Chris Hall made a home run. There we go. Alright, Volp. It's a strike. So, 1 strike, 2 strikes, 1 ball for this inning. Alright, here we go. Fisher facing a 1-2, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Alright, here we go. I think it's 2 balls. Alright, it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alright. In front of Fisher. Here we go. Alright, I think it's another ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Alright, still 1 out. And we have Wells on deck. Alright, Wells on deck, on batting deck now. Alright, here we go. Volp. Alright. Readying for the pitch. Okay, here we go. I think someone is on the plate, on the base right now. Alright, here we go, Volp. It's a hit. I think it's a foul ball. Alright, Volp. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Staring in the face of Fisher. Right now, here we go. Alright, here we go. Fisher. I think Volp was stricken out. Alright, so 2 outs now already for the New York Yankees. Alright, and we are looking at some activity in the bullpen again. Alright, Wells on deck now, on the plate. Alright, there we go, Wells. Okay, alright, was it? Alright, a strike. So, strike 1 for Wells. Alright, here we go. For the 11th pitch of Fisher. There we go. Alright. It's 1 ball, 1 strike against Wells. 1 ball, 1 strikes. Or 1 strike against Wells. Alright, here we go. Let's see what gives here. Alright. Alright, so it's... I think it's 2 strikes. Alright, 1 more, and this is going to be the 3rd man stricken out from this inning. Alright, there we go. Alright. Now, Chris Holm and Judge now, it's the focal point of the cameras. Okay. Alright, here we go. Fisher against Wells. Alright. Okay, it was a hit. Alright. I think there's another run. Yes. Alright. It's clear. Alright. Wells is on the second base. And I think somebody made a run there. Alright, somebody made a run. Alright. There we go. Still looking at the... Alright, I think so. It's going to be 8-6 now. I think somebody made a run for... So it's 8-6 now in favor of the Yankees. Hey Paul, how's it going, Paul? Thank you so much for dropping by. Alright. Alright. We're still at the studio right now, back for some reminders. Alright, now we're back in the ball game. It's the Blue Jays offense. Alright, somebody caught the ball. So it's 1 out for Blue Jays. Alright, and as I said, New York Yankees made a run last time. Oh, well, there you go. The coach of the New York Yankees can afford to smile a bit now. But earlier, it's all frown and like he was questioning some calls. Alright. Here we go. Hill. He has a peculiar jump when he's doing the pitching. Like, after the pitch, he jumps a bit. Okay. Here we go. Right. This is definitely something. Alright. Okay, here we go. Alright. It's a pitch. I think it's a foul ball. And I think Guerrero is on the plate right now. On deck. Alright, here we go. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes against Springer. Alright, here you go. Barger there. Alright. Alright, there's a hit going to the left part of the field. And I think the Springer was out. The Springer is out. So 2 outs already for the Blue Jays. Alright, here we go. Who's this? Kirk? Is it Kirk? Oh, it's Snyder. It's Davis Snyder on the batting plate right now. Let's see how he will do with this one. All right, Hill. All right, that's a hit, but I think it's a fly out. All right, it was catched by number 35. All right, so 3 outs. Wow, that was a quick work by Hill. All right, now let's get back to home studios for the offense of the New York Yankees. Okay. All right, there you go. We're back in the ball game again. A new pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. Well, they quickly replace their pitchers every now and then. Okay. All right, now there is, I think that's Grisham who's on the play on the batting plate right now. All right, there we go. Little is going for the second pitch. All right, second pitch is a ball. All right. There we go. Here we go. Second. All right, that was a strike. A strike against Grisham. Okay. And closely following Grisham, I think it's Judge. So there's a lot of anticipation. Alright, so 1 ball, 2 strikes against Grisham. Alright. There we go, Little. Preparing to pitch. Okay, it was a hit. Alright, I think it's a fly ball and Grisham is out. Alright, here we go. Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge now on the plate to bat. Here we go. All right. They are still remembering the home run by Aaron Judge. There we go. All right. All right. Pitch. All right, it was a hit going to the right side of the field. Okay. I think they lost it. Oh, wow. It was Santander. We made an error there. All right. Okay. Oh, no, it's still not Judge. I think it's... Right, Santander made an error there. There we go. Now it's Judge who's on the batting plate now. Alright, I think it's a strike. Still 1 out. Oh, it's a ball against Judge. Alright, now Little. Okay, these are 2 culprits. Oh, 3 culprits actually. Alright, there we go, Little. Alright, second pitch. I think it's 2 balls. No strike still. Okay. Oh, it's Rice who's on the plate right now. Alright. Here we go. Here we go. Alright. It was a hit. Up. It's a fly ball. Alright. And there you go, Judge again made a run. People are talking to the pitcher, and I think he will be replaced again. Alright. So a new pitcher will be out for the Toronto Blue Jays. So there's a lot of pitching exchanges that was done. Alright, so let's go back to the home studios for some reminders. All right, we're almost at the tail end of the ball game right now, and we have Williams, a new pitcher for the New York Yankees facing Guerrero. All right, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike against Guerrero. All right, the man of the hour for the Blue Jays. Okay, here we go. All right. It's 2 balls, 1 strike against Williams. Here we go. All right. Okay. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here we go. All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oh, it's a change-up. So it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. All right, Williams. Will he strike out Guerrero or will he another hit? There you go. Oh, it's a fly out. It's a fly out. All right. So Guerrero was striking out. All right. No runs this time. All right, there we go. Next on the plate. I think it's Kirk. Is it Kirk? All right, Williams, first pitch is a strike against Kirk. All right, second pitch. It's another strike against Kirk. Right. Williams requested for a new ball. We got two strikes already against Kirk. All right, here we go. All right. Oops. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball against the Williams and 2 strikes against Kirk. All right. Okay, there you go. Another hit, but I think it's foul ball this time. Okay. All right, 1 out already against the Toronto Blue Jays and New York Yankees, leading by 3 runs against the Toronto Blue Jays. All right, there we go. Williams pitching. Pitch. All right, it was a hit. Another foul ball. All right. All right, here we go. Williams pitching. All right, it was a hit. And I think it's a fly ball. It's a fly ball. Catched easily. All right, so 2 outs already for the Blue Jays. It was catched by Wells, I think. All right, so 2 outs already for the Blue Jays. 1 more out. And we're done with the offense of the Blue Jays. All right, here we go. Williams. All right. Nice pitch. Here we go. All right. I think it's a foul ball, but it's strike. All right, strike one against Barshow. Barshow this time. All right, here we go. All right, the two players who made a home run for Yankees. All right, second pitch is a strike, so it's 2 strikes already against Barshow. All right, fans are egging on. Finish the inning so that the Yankees can go on the offense. All right, here we go. Williams pitching. All right, no, I think it's a ball. So 2 strikes, 1 ball. All right, 1 ball against Williams and 2 strikes against Barshow. All right, here we go. All right, Williams pitch. All right, I think yun na yan. Out si Barshow, and that's the offensive inning for the Blue Jays. Back to home studio tayo. Alright, I think we're back in the ball game right now. Okay, let's see. Right, we're still looking at the announcers of the game right now. John Smoltz and Davis making some analysis of the game, and I think we're almost at the end of the. It's best of 5 actually, so we still have a long way to go here. So it's a best of 5. So if New York Yankees wins this, it's down to 1-game lead for Toronto Blue Jays. All right, they're still making some analysis right now. All right, here we go. A few of the errors was done there. 3 errors made. Alright, and the culprits are being shown on the screen. Alright, where's someone there? Alright, and Judge is being shown on the screen again. And of course, there's Guerrero. Alright, there's the new pitcher for the Blue Jays. Alright. Where's the pitcher for the Blue Jays this time? Alright, and he's facing Chris Holm. Alright, here we go. It's Rodriguez against Holm this time. Alright, so it's 1 strike against Chris Holm. But this time I think it's a ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike. No outs yet against the New York Yankees. Alright. Here we go. Alright, Rodriguez with his pitch. I think it's another ball. So it's 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 balls against Rodriguez and 1 strike against Chris Holm. Alright, let's see. Here we go. Alright, I think it's 2 strikes already. 2 strikes, 2 balls. 2 strikes against Chris Holm and 2 balls against Rodriguez. Okay, here we go. Rodriguez up. Alright, it was a hit. But I think it's a fly out. Alright, catch easily by I think it's Kirk who catched it. Alright, so 1 out for New York Yankees. Alright, let's see. Let's see what's up here. Alright, there you go. I think that's Bieber. Alright, Rodriguez. Alright. He has a 1 ball against Caballero. Wow, this is the first time I've seen Caballero on batting plate. Here we go. Alright, pitch. Alright, what's a hit? Going to the right side of the field. Alright. Okay, here we go. Here's the pitch. Alright, it was a hit. Going to the left side. Alright. I think no base was taken. Alright. It was not a successful hit. Alright, he was quickly tagged. Alright, some activities in the Blue Jays bullpen. Alright, Bruel. is warming up. Here we go. I think this is Stanton again. Or oh, it's Volp. Alright, Volp on the batting plate now. Alright, there we go. Alright. There's 1 ball, 1 strike for Rodriguez. Alright, Volp preparing. There we go. Alright. I think it's 2 balls. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 balls against Rodriguez and 1 strike against Volp. Alright. Let's see what gives now. There we go. Alright. I think it's 3 balls. So 3 balls, 1 strike against Rodriguez. Alright, here we go. Alright, it was a hit. Going to the left side, but I think it was catched and thrown at the first base. So, at the end of the 7th, it's 7th inning now. It's 7th inning. And successful strikeout by the pitcher. Okay, back to home studio. Right, back to the ball game. Here we go. Williams now doing the pitching for New York Yankees. And he's facing Santander. Alright, I think this is the 8th inning right now. We're down to one more inning after this. Okay, here we go. I think it's a strike. So 2 balls, 2 strikes against Santander. One more strike and he's the first out for the Toronto Blue Jays. Here we go. All right, Williams. I think it's 3 balls. Let's see. There we go. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3 balls, 2 strikes. All right, Williams looking on. All right, here we go. All right. Okay. Santander was out. Santander is out. So it's the first out for the Blue Jays. That was a nice pitch there by Williams. Alright, here we go. Alright, some activity in the bullpen. Okay. I think Williams will be out already. Yeah, that was a quick. Alright. Back to the home studio again. Alright. Alright, we're back now. This time for the offense of the Blue Jays. Alright. A new pitcher is on the mound for. Okay, there's a hit. Alright. Somebody's striking out. But somebody has developed on the second base. I think it's Barger. Let's take it out. So now it's 2 outs for the against the Toronto Blue Jays. And who is the pitcher now? Is it Bednar? Bednar. Okay, that's the name, the last name. All right. It's Clement again. Wow, Clement. All right, here we go. Jimenez against Bednar. All right. So one ball against Bednar. Let's see what happens here. All right, here we go. It's a strike. So one strike, one ball against Jimenez. All right, here we go. Bednar pitching. All right, it's a hit. Oh, it's going to the first base, and Bednar is out. All right, so that concludes the middle of the 8th. We're at the middle of the 8th, so okay, back with the offense of New York Yankees. All right, back to home studio. All right, we're back in the ball game, and Joyax, thank you so much for still being there. All right, and everybody, okay, we're almost done with the ball game. We're at the middle of the 8th, so just one more inning, and I think we'll be done with this one. All right, but still, this is not an assurance lead for the New York Yankees, because easily a 3-run home run can be done. So everything is possible. All right, here we go. All right. We have a new pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. It's Nance. All right, and currently it's 2 strikes already for Wells. All right, 2 strikes against Wells. Okay, still 9-6. 9 runs for New York and 6 for Toronto. So 3-run lead. All right, so here we go. All right, now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes against Wells. Okay, here we go. All right, there's a hit. I think it's quite safe. All right, Wells was able to reach the first base. All right, on that one. All right. Wow, that was a nice hit by Wells. All right. Okay. All right, we're still seeing some stats right now, but of course, back to the ball game. Here we go. All right, Nance pitching. All right, I think it's a strike. But let's see. No, it's a ball. So 1 ball, no strikes. And the one on the plate now is Grisham. Grisham now preparing to hit. All right, Nance preparing to pitch. Here we go. All right, I think it's a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strikes. Oh no, it's 2 balls. 2 balls, no strikes still. All right, Grisham preparing, looking on. All right, here we go. Nance, I think still a ball. Yeah, it's 3 balls, no strikes. 3 balls, no strikes. Okay, against Nance. All right, Grisham. All right, I think it's a strike now. So it's 3 balls, 1 strike against Grisham. All right, here we go. All right, that guy's been a focal point. I think they are the starting pitchers of both teams. Okay, here we go. Nance, 2 strikes. All right, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Okay, when we see a strikeout, 3 balls, 2 strikes. All right, 3 balls, 2 strikes. All right, here we go. Nance preparing to pitch. There we go. All right, it was a hit. It was a hit, and I think it's a fly ball. All right, it was catched easily. All right, it was a fly ball, but Wells was able to progress, I think, on the second base. All right, Aaron Judge, I think, is up on the plate now. All right, Aaron Judge is up on the plate. There we go. It's Nance versus Aaron Judge. Wow, Judge is really imposing there. All right, it was a hit. Going to the left, but I think Judge will be out. All right. All right. Judge is out. We get a homer on the 4th inning. All right, Judge is out. Okay, 1 more out. And we're done with this inning. There we go. Some people are checking out the stadium right now. They made a conclusion that it's a New York Yankee win. All right, here we go. I think it's a ball. All right. It's Jose Caballero on the plate right now. Yep, it's a ball. So 1 ball, no strike still. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, this time I believe it's a strike. All right, so 1 ball, 1 strike. All right. So far. Okay. All right, here we go. All right. Oh, it's a ball. I think it's a ball. So 2 balls, 1 strike against Caballero. 2 balls, 1 strike so far. All right. 2 balls, 1 strike against Caballero. All right. Nance preparing to pitch. All right. There you go. I think it's 2 balls, 2 strikes now. All right. The strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So 1 more strike and done with the middle of the 8th inning for New York Yankees. All right, let's see. There you go, Volp looking on. All right. Umpires and coaches are talking to Caballero. All right, Caballero. 2 balls, 2 strikes. All right, Nance planning to strike out. Oh, no, there's a run. Okay, going towards the first base. All right, Wells was able to run for it. I think he's on the 3rd base now. Wow. Wow. All right. All right. Caballero is on the first base. Oh, 2 people are running. Wow. So Caballero on the first base, somebody on the second base, and then I think Wells is on the 3rd base. Here we go. I think Stanton is out. All right. All right. Okay, that's the end of the 8th. So we are now on the last inning of the ball game. All right. All right. Let's go on a quick break. Alright, I think we're back in the ball game right now. And this is the last inning, I think so. Alright, here we go. Alright. Second pitch of Bednar. Alright. It was a 2 strikes against Springer. Alright. Okay, third pitch. I think Springer is stricken out. Here we go. There we go. It's winning time now. All right. Let's see. Okay, pitch. Oh, it almost hit the batter there. It almost hit the batter. Oh man. It's like the pitch is going straight to the batter. All right, Bednar. All right, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike against Lutz. The batter for Toronto Blue Jays is Lutz. Okay, here we go. All right, Bednar. All right, I think it's a strike. So 2 strikes, 1 ball against Bednar. All right. Anything can still happen. Anything can still happen on this inning. Oh wow, that was a wayward pitch by Bednar. All right, here we go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes. But here we go. All right, I think it's a strikes. So Lux was stricken out of the ball of the inning. All right, so 1 more out, and that's it for the inning for Toronto Blue Jays. All right, one more strikeout, and it's done with for Toronto Blue Jays. All right, there we go. All right, I think it's a ball. So 1 ball against Guerrero. Vladimir Guerrero. Oh, it's quite fitting. It's Guerrero now. The home run hitter of Toronto Blue Jays was making mincemeat of the New York Yankees pitcher. All right. 2 balls. 2 balls against Bednar. 2 balls against Bednar. All right. Here we go. Alright. Oh no, it's 3 balls, I guess. 3 balls against Bednar. 1 more ball and we will have a walk. Guerrero will walk towards the first base. Alright, here we go. Bednar. Alright, I think it's a strike. It's a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. 3 balls, 1 strike tayo. Okay, here we go. Alright. Okay, 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Okay, nasa alanganin. Kailangan perfect yung pitch mo dito, Bednar. Isa pang pagkakamali mo, maglalakad si Guerrero. Oh, it's a hit. It's foul ball. Foul ball. It's a hit. Mukhang tumama sa paa ni Guerrero. Tumama sa paa ni Guerrero. Ayun, kitang-kita, oh. Tinamaan ng praso, tumama sa paa niya. Ang sakit niyan. Ang sakit niyan. Pak. Ayun, oh. Alright, there we go. Bednar. Op, ayun, tumama. Op, na-catch. Papunta sa first base. Wala. Laglag si Guerrero. So, that's it. That's it for the inning. Alright. Tapos na ang laro, mga kababayan. Tapos na ang laro. So, it's automatic 9-6. Alright. So, 9-6, 9-6 everyone. 9-4 Yankees and 6-4 Blue Jays. Alright. Just when we think medyo alanganin ng Yankees kanina, nakahabol sila. Ang tagal-tagal na 9-6 ng laro. But I think 6-1, 6-2, 6-2 yata. Ang tagal ng 6-2. But napako sa 6 ang Blue Jays. And of course, napasok ng Yankees na tabla, and then eventually lumamang sila ng 3. So 9-6 mga kababayan ang final score. Thank you so much for all those people who stayed on and watching this baseball game. Infinite Streams, thank you so much. Alright, thank you so much sa inyong lahat. And of course, Yeshua Gospels, thank you so much for you staying. And then Hoy Dakagbaba, alright, salamat. And then Paul Shaw, thank you so much for staying on. Alright, and the 5 viewers who are still in the live stream right now, thank you so much. Alright, there you go, that concludes the ball game. 9-6, so 2-1 ang series, 2 ang Blue Jays, 1 ang Yankees. I think we will be having another ball game. So it's a best of 5 series. So well, whoever makes the 3 will win this. Okay, so again, in behalf of Team International, alright, if you would like to closely follow live scoring, just follow our channel. We have Karektan Mix Vlogs, and then of course yours truly, Sneaker Dan, and then we have Paul who is covering contact sports. Alright, Paul, so Enter the Dragon Slayer, and then of course Infinite Streams who is doing sports commentating as well. So thank you so much. See you again on the next live, and we will be doing a lot of sports. A lot of sports are coming up right now, so just keep it with us, and we will give you a lot of live scoring. So again, we will be closing out the show, closing out the live stream. Thank you so much, everyone. Stay with us.
When you're looking for a friend to make your day so clear, it's just a live stream away, and you'll have a great day. A group of people ready to jam with you, singing songs of yesterday as well as today. Team International, Team International, Team International. Oh yeah, alright. Team International, Team International, Team International. Such a beautiful sight, found in my Aura Joy X. Oh yeah. Speaker Dan, alright. Guapa Julie Basilton. Oh yeah. Principal Mona Lisa, TV official, alright. Guapa teacher Crazy TV. Oh yeah. Joseph B. Fedato feels Benini. Oh, Randall TV official. Guapo. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Infinite Streams, TV Master, alright. Paul Guapo E.T. Dragon Slayer, oh yeah. Guapo the King, alright. Guapa Annie Sitecom, oh yeah. Guapa Mers Novice Law.
LNW show alright.
Alright, 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 alright. Team International, Team International, Team International, oh yeah. Team International, Team International, Team International, Team International, oh yeah, alright. When you're looking for a friend to make your day so clear, it's just a live stream away, and you'll have a great day. A group of people ready ready to jam with you, singing songs of yesterday as well as today. Team International, Team International, Team International. Oh yeah, alright. Team International, Team International, Team International. Such a beautiful sight, found in my aura JAYS. Oh yeah. Speaker Dan, alright. Guapa Julie Basilton. Oh yeah. Principal Mona Lisa, TV official, alright. Guapa teacher Crazy TV. Oh yeah. Joseph D. Fedado Feels Benini. Oh, Randall TV official. Guapo. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Infinite Streams TV Master, alright. Paul Guapo E.T. Dragon Slayer, oh yeah. Guapo D King, alright. Guapa Annie Sitecom, oh yeah. Guapa Mers Novice Law.
LNW show alright.
Alright, 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 alright. Team International.